back, Soul Family, to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. This is episode 22, and I'm Max Soul.
And I'm Mello Soul. And we're so glad you're joining us for what is a very special episode as we begin to wrap our first season.
It's hard to believe we're almost done with season 1, Mello. As we come down to the end, we're really focused on connecting all the strings between these architects that we've covered.
You bet, Max. Think about the journey we've taken over the last 21 episodes, from the raw emotion of Stax in Memphis and the electric blues of Chess Records in Chicago, to the legendary sessions at Fame and Muscle Shoals and the foundational brilliance of Atlantic Records.
What a ride it's been, too, as we've learned from giants like James Brown and Marvin Gaye, pioneers like Curtis Mayfield, the vocal power of Otis Redding, and the instrumental voices that were King Curtis and Booker T. And let's not leave out the unmatched artistry of Aretha and Nina Simone, and so many more in between.
Yes, Max. If you haven't checked out those first 21 episodes, please do.
They are cool.
Yeah, they're masterclasses in music history and career strategy.
We learned a lot.
And messages of positive actions which achieved results in the daunting but grand majesty of creating.
Definitely well said, Mello. And before we dive into today's architect, we just want to take a quick moment to sincerely thank everyone who's listened to even one episode of this podcast. Your support for this history and for the new vibe of soul means everything to us. It is truly most appreciated by the both of us.
It truly is, and surely does, Max. Today we're focused on a man whose career spans decades and multiple cities. A man who was the definition of cool control.
Yes, sir.
That's Jerry Butler, the Iceman.
Yeah, I love the impression that name, the Iceman, leaves you with. And it's not a Top Gun movie, no. But the impression of the most chillest, smoothest cat you will ever meet. And I really actually can say that's the truth, because I got to work with him when I was back at the Apollo back in the day, Mello. And he was all those things. I mean, I was struck with how smooth the day went, how chill the vibe was, and how amazingly well he handled that crowd. Like the veteran that he was, he owned that stage from start to finish. His history, from co-founding the Impressions to becoming a solo superstar and helping to pioneer the sound of Philadelphia, Jerry Butler's journey is a blueprint for longevity and adaptability. His influence is everywhere in today's R&B.
It does seem that way, Max. We'll be looking at his distinct vocal style, his legendary collaborations, and crucially, his deep commitment to the business and community side of music. These are unique lessons all artists need to absorb today.
Oh, 100%, Mello. So grab your headphones, your speakers, your laptop, your iPad, or whatever you have, because we're about to explore how the Iceman's cool demeanor and brilliant strategy offered a powerful guide for artists seeking to own their own sound and survive in a rapidly changing industry. So we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back.
That's right. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and today we're talking Jerry Butler, the Iceman.
Dare I say it, but cool. Don't go nowhere, y'all.
Welcome back to episode 22 of Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this content, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us bring more of these stories to you.
That's all right. We really greatly appreciate your contact, your impressions, and your ears. All right, Mello, let's talk about that voice. Jerry Butler earned the nickname the Iceman from a Philadelphia DJ named Georgie Woods. And an interesting piece of info here about all these strings we talk about and just how far they reach. Like, Mello, would you ever think that we would end up talking the Beatles in the very same show as the Iceman?
You know, Max, I really don't think I would have made that leap. So how did we get there?
Well, doing my research on Jerry and where his nickname came from, a bell kept going off in my head, like, Georgie Woods. Where have I heard that name before? And you know how in the quiet moments when you're not really thinking about what you want to think about, it comes to you? Mm-hmm. Right? And all of a sudden I heard John Lennon say in a falsetto voice, "That was Can You Dig It by Georgie Wood, and now we'd like to do Hark the Angels Come." And the next thing I know, I'm listening to Paul McCartney sing Let It Be.
That reference is true, Max. We just don't know that the person Lennon was referring to was the DJ or maybe Brit star Wee Georgie Wood.
It could have been.
Yeah, because he was a very famous British music hall comedian and child star.
I don't know. Lennon was a goofball, though, and he loved soul music.
Uh-huh. but that was a common cultural reference in the UK at the time, not specifically the Philadelphia DJ Georgie Woods, the man with the goods.
Right. The man.
But the British Georgie Woods wasn't the DJ. And in Lennon's playful, absurdist humor, he was surely imitating a radio or variety show announcer. So
Which really leads me to believe that it was Georgie Woods with the goods.
Maybe, Max, maybe.
Right. So anyway, just one more string to unravel, Mello. So now back to Jerry and his being crowned the Iceman. So Jerry Butler tells the story that he and his group were performing in Philadelphia when the sound system went down. So you know you in some shit because now the PA ain't PAing no more, and all them mics and them speakers are connected. They're off, right? So panic not being Jerry Butler's wheelhouse at all, and drawing on his church background, well, he just kept singing the song a cappella. Everybody joined in singing. It got real quiet in there. And when they finished Mello, well, the audience went nuts. They jumped out of their seats, and Georgie Woods, who obviously really did have the goods, ran on stage and gave him the nickname. Of course, the name stuck due to Jerry Butler's cool, smooth vocals and collected demeanor on stage. And let me tell you, Mello, that guy definitely owned the stage.
Wow. And it's funny, too, Max, in an era where James Brown was famous for sliding and the Temptations for intricate choreography, Jerry Butler stood on stage and simply sang. And that's the story of the perfect origin story, Max. It's a powerful lesson in owning your lane. His vocal style, that smooth, deep, controlled baritone, was his signature. It was distinctive and immediately recognizable.
Oh, definitely.
He didn't have to jump around. His voice commanded the attention of the room.
Exactly, Mel. For every young artist today, the lesson from the Iceman is don't chase the trend. Cultivate your distinction. In the current digital landscape, we often feel pressured to be high energy or to fit to a specific mold. Jerry Butler's approach was the opposite. Quiet strength, vocal sophistication, and emotional depth, and the overwhelming presence of cool. I don't know how to explain it any other way.
It must have been great to have a front seat to watch that guy, man.
It really was. He was fucking cool.
Yeah, he proved that restraint can be more captivating than excess. When you listen to his early hits like For Your Precious Love, you hear the gospel roots, but delivered with an almost classical polish.
Oh, definitely, Mel. And the challenge for today's artists is to find that unique vocal identity that cuts through the noise. So what is your Iceman quality? That quiet confidence and masterful delivery is a timeless asset that no algorithm could replicate, not in a million years.
So lesson 1 from Jerry Butler, master your craft to the point where your voice, not your theatrics, becomes your defining trait. And then use your theatrics in the way that most resonates with yourself and doesn't steal the shine from your voice. Because as we said before, James Brown was a moving and a grooving, but Butler was just a standing and a singing.
Yes, sir.
And truthfully, you can't beat either one.
No.
But both worked on claiming their voice before anything else.
That's a great thought, Mel. It really is. Next up, we dive into how he formed some of soul's most impactful creative partnerships. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
You bet. Hey, we're back on Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. So let's unpack Jerry Butler's collaborative genius, Mello, which is key to understanding his longevity.
So, Max, he starts with Curtis Mayfield in Chicago.
You know, Mello, that he actually became a voice for 2 soul hubs. Chicago Soul, which he helped in establishing in Chicago as a major center for soul music through his work with the Impressions and his later career, and then the Philly Soul, which we'll get into later. So, despite Jerry Butler going solo, and of course, being the guy that convinced Curtis to come to the Impressions in the first place, and then he left. Well, he and Curtis actually maintained a really strong working relationship, co-writing hits like He Will Break Your Heart. And the story behind that song, Mello, is that this hit was co-written by Jerry Butler, Curtis Mayfield, and Calvin Carter in 1960. And the song's concept came from Butler thinking about the boyfriends of the groupies he met on the road. Kind of a strange subject, if you ask me. And the duality of a road musician etiquette, well, it's not on the discussion table on the show today.
That's right, Max. Aside from that, this truly demonstrates the lesson of maintaining professional ties with fellow artists, even when their career trajectories change. And then you had the legendary moment with Otis Redding where they co-wrote the classic I've Been Loving You Too Long to Stop Now.
That's right, Mello. Jerry Butler and Otis Redding were both performing at a concert in Buffalo, New York. And that night after the show, they got together in a hotel room with Redding's guitar, discussing songs that they had started but couldn't finish. And Jerry pulled out a cassette, and he played the song and sang I've Been Loving You Too Long for Otis. Well, Jerry Butler recalled that. Otis Redding jumped up immediately and said, I like that. Let me take it back to Georgia and see if I can finish it. And the next time that Butler heard the song, it was released on Stax Records. I mean, wow. The lesson that it highlights is that vulnerability and a willingness to share incomplete work can truly lead to a masterpiece. And man, that was a masterpiece, Mello.
Yes, Max, it truly was and still is. So, fam, for all the modern soul artists and studio sessions today, Jerry Butler's example is to be open to the moment and never underestimate a casual creative exchange.
No doubt.
Because that conversation in a hotel room created a signature song for one of soul music's greatest voices.
No doubt, Mello. But the ultimate lesson in creative evolution comes from his work in Philly. And this is amazing. By the late 60s, Jerry sensed his style needed a refresh. And he strategically sought out the up-and-coming production duo of Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. Mello, he must have known something.
Right you are, Max. Jerry Butler's work with the Philadelphia production team of Gamble and Huff was highly productive. When describing their creative process, Butler noted that Huff would be on the piano while he and Gamble would come up with the lyrics and concepts. This is how they came up with the hit, Never Gonna Give You Up.
That's right, Mello. The chemistry between Butler, Gamble, and Huff was so fierce that they wrote songs like Only the Strong Survive in less than an hour, with Butler saying, things just seem to fall into place. Mello, the lyrics for Only the Strong Survive were actually a conversation that Jerry had with his mother when he was about 16 years old. He was heartbroken over an older woman who had left him. He went to his mother all distraught, and she told him, boy, let me tell you this, that you have not seen half of the beautiful, lovely women in this world. Get up off your knees, because only the strong survive.
As only a mother can say.
Right?
Max.
Oh, damn.
Move on up, I guess you could say.
Right? Yeah, him and Curtis.
Exactly. That was a masterstroke of career management. Because he didn't cling to the past. He actively pursued the future. And collaboration on albums like The Iceman Cometh and hits like Only the Strong Survive. Well, it was clear Jerry Butler's albums became early models for the sophisticated, orchestrated Philly soul sound.
Hell yes, Mello. And the lesson is clear. Be willing to adapt, to seek out fresh sounds, and to partner with producers who help you define the next wave of music. Gamble and Huff, in turn, gained an established star to validate their emerging sound. It was a win-win that changed music history.
Indeed it did, Max. Jerry Butler teaches us that strategic collaboration and creative courage are the keys to staying relevant across decades.
An amazing lesson for all, Mello. All right, we're going to step away for a moment, and then we'll be back to dive into the most inspiring part of the Iceman's legacy, his dedication to the business side of soul. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning into Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you.
Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We've covered the voice and the collaborations, Max, but now let's look at Jerry Butler, the business mind and community builder.
This is where Jerry Butler's legacy truly becomes a guide for the modern independent artist. When his career was at a professional crossroads, he established the Jerry Butler Songwriters Workshop in Chicago in the early 1970s. I think this is really cool, and I did not know about this when I first started doing my research on Jerry.
Yeah, this is profound, Max. He used his success not just for himself, but to create an entire ecosystem. He built a space to mentor and develop new songwriting talent because he understood that singers need songs.
That's so true.
And the infrastructure was drying up.
Yeah, that workshop generated millions in record sales and produced hits for artists like Isaac Hayes, Aretha Franklin, Natalie Cole. I mean, the clear message for today's R&B artists, success isn't just about your own hits. It's about raising the tide for the entire genre, isn't it, Mello?
No doubt, Max. And that commitment went beyond his workshop. He later chaired the Rhythm and Blues Foundation, actively advocating for things every modern artist fights for, like fair compensation, medical benefits, and retirement for legacy musicians.
It is such an awesome thing to do. And Jerry Butler's career reminds us that the musician's path doesn't end at the recording studio. It does extend to advocacy. It does extend to mentorship. And it does extend to business acumen. And this is perhaps his most powerful lesson. Be an active guardian of the business of your art and the welfare of your community. What a message.
This is crucial today, Max, where independent artists are often their own manager, lawyer, and label. Sounds familiar. Hello. We have to be smart. We have to protect our masters, and we have to think long term, just as Jerry Butler did.
Absolutely, Mello. And on that note, if you are soaking up these stories, or if you're feeling that these lessons these architects are teaching are getting to you, well, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. It certainly helps us to keep sharing these powerful stories with the world.
Very true, Max. And on that note, we're going to take a pause for the cause. And when we come back for our final segment, we'll recap the wisdom from the Iceman and send you off with a final word on pushing the future of soul forward.
That's right. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we'll be right back to put the Iceman in the freezer where his cool ass belongs.
So don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Soul Fam, for our final segment on the incredible Jerry Butler.
Yes, let's quickly connect the threads of the Iceman's legacy to the new wave of soul artists, Mello.
You bet, Max. It's all about the 3 C's: control, collaboration, and community. Control over your image and voice.
Right.
Collaboration with the best and brightest to push your sound.
Amen.
And community building to ensure that the genre thrives.
That is the plan, Mello. Artists today like Leon Bridges and Frank Ocean, who embrace a controlled, distinct, and sophisticated vocal style, are echoes of Jerry Butler's original Iceman coolness. And the seamless blend of new and old production that defines modern R&B is directly linked to his leap to Gamble and Huff.
Yes, Max. Jerry Butler's entire career is a testament to the idea that you can be smooth, cool, and successful.
Was so smooth. He was so cool, and he was definitely successful.
He's definitely successful, while also being a fierce advocate for your industry.
Amen. Say amen to that.
Amen. That is the ultimate blueprint for the 21st century soul artists.
Indeed it is, Mello. Indeed it is. And as we bid a fond farewell to the Iceman, who truly was as cool as they said he was, we would like to leave you with our ever-present final thought to all our fellow artists out there trying to make your mark.
Keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before.
And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. And until next we meet, peace and soul, y'all.